Whoa. That's as good of one as we've ever seen, as far as the coach impersonation.
What they should have had was one of the reporter there asking the guy, hey, with that ugly beard, hey, buddy, you don't look like you're in shape. Are you taking this job serious? Are you taking this job serious?
I feel like he would have been let in by stadium security.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
That is spot on.
Wow.
Do you think he grew the beard just to look like him?
I hope not. If you're sitting around your aspirations as an adult, say, I want to look like him.
I think it's worse if he didn't grow the beard to look like him, because that means he thinks it's just a good look. That means
There's a lot of guys going around with beards now. Beards are in, and they swear it. Either that beards or knockoff goatee. Well, not whole goatee. They got smoke.
There's no smoke in my goatee.
I wasn't talking about you. I'm just saying there's bad. It's bad. There's a lot of bad facial hair going around.
Dak, he started cooking.
Me and Coach King,
finished with
like
455 yards, 3 touchdowns,
Slim
all 3 to his favorite weapon, Amari Cooper, in all 3 in the fourth quarter and overtime. That's 5 straight wins for the boys, who now sit 2 games ahead of Philly and Washington in the NFC East. And here is Dak after the game.
I'm never going to give up. I'm never going to stop. And when you have teammates and you have coaches like you do that support you and that push you and believe in you and everything, that no matter what goes on, no matter the interceptions, no matter the fumbles, they've always got your back. It just allows me to just keep my eyes forward and stay focused on my goal. And I've just been able to do that here.
Coach, do you trust that Dak can carry the Cowboys on a playoff run?
I've been really hard on Dak, and I do appreciate the things that he's had to work through this season. I do appreciate the amount of criticism he's taken, the difficulties that he's had in terms of the transition that they made from Jason Witten and Des Bryant, and all the pressure that's been on him, and he seems like he's trending in the right direction. I do struggle with the picks and some of the decision making, and Amari Cooper has changed the equation there. But Dak at times is pressing the ball to Amari and making some decisions where he doesn't need to. And I hope that doesn't continue to trend in that direction. The other thing I'm worried about is the amount of sacks that he's taking. Figure there's 16 more sacks already this season than there were the entirety of last season, and then I think his rookie season he was at 25, so they're 48 now.
Yeah, nearly double.
Yeah, and so part of that is the offensive line, but part of that is him trying to make a play, and that's another.
And that's led to some of those fumbles too.
It's led to some of the fumbles. It's led to some really poor field position situations. So you got sacked yesterday that took him out of field goal range. So those 2 things in terms of forcing the ball into coverage to try to get Amari involved when it's not there, and then the sacks. Those 2 areas I'm struggling with still.
Yeah, one thing I did like about what he did, because we haven't seen where they've thrown the ball 50 times, let alone the Cowboys. When we have a stat, Nick's been running it off, man. When they throw the ball over 30 times,
right?
I mean, their chances of winning are not real high. But for him to have 42 completions, when I look at that, at him, because this is what I do know, Coach. They have supported him. He's growing as a quarterback. Man, everyone is not instant grits. When you come to this thing, man, it's a grind. And when Coach says he's trending the right way, that's the way we typically watch players to see, oh, is this guy, how can I support him? And I love the way the Cowboys, that they've supported him through thick, through bad, they've supported him. And now, by getting him a wide receiver, by changing up the game plan a little bit and making more of the throws on the outside parts of the field, you can see him growing as a quarterback. No, of course, we don't want the sacks. No, of course, we don't want the fumbles. But as a young quarterback who's learning how to win and give them more variances for how they're going to win, I like where the Cowboys are, because when you have a great defense like they have, and you also have a great running game like they have, when you can make big plays on the outside, you're going to make life so much easier for that interior offensive line. And I like where Dak is. Yeah, Amari Cooper, when you get a guy like that, when you don't have a tight end, your other receiver is a rookie, you're going to have to force the ball to a playmaker like Amari. And I believe they'll work that out. But they need a tight end. If they had a tight end, then I would feel more comfortable with them moving forward.
Yeah, I thought you made a great point about that earlier. And to lose Jason Witten and all the things that he did last year, and he was such a safety blanket for Dez and or
how many more Monday night games they got? Because I might be able to get Witten back for the playoffs.
Well, and
they would be nasty.
You saw this week, and there was a report that from NFL Network, I think, or no, it's from Adam Schefter, your buddy, that Jason Garrett multiple times, including recently, has reached out to Jason Witten and said, "You want to come back? You think about coming back?" Like, so
what they should do is put Booger in the booth
and let
with Joe Tessitore, and then let him be on that little cable car thing they got going, and then he'll be on there when the Dallas defense, is on the field, and then he'll run into. I mean,
all right. But
well, he's going to need to run the start.
We understand, but you think the tight end would help him a lot?
Yeah, I think that's huge. And he did a better job yesterday of involving the tight end.
Yes.
But Chris makes a good point. That's kind of the missing link right now. They've got a really effective running game, obviously, and now you've got Amari Cooper in the pressure he puts on secondaries to be able to have that inside big physical presence that he had with Jason Witten. He's getting those guys involved, but it's a huge void.
Here's what I want to say about Dak, because every day that I do this show, I think my #1 goal is to make sure I'm fair and consistent, and that I hold guys to the same standard and same metrics, whether they're guys that I've said this guy's going to be amazing or this guy's going to stink. And so here's the deal: we have all, almost as a collective, decided when we evaluate quarterbacks, how you finish is way more important than how you start. Like the game, when we talk about the Pat Mahomes game against the Rams, it scored 51 points, don't matter. How'd it finish? Interception, blew the game, right?
Yep.
So Dak, look at how he finished. The defense had been carrying him for a month. In that fourth quarter, the defense fell apart. And what did Dak do in the fourth quarter and overtime? Completed 85% of his passes, 12 yards per attempt, 3 touchdowns, even if one of them was a little lucky on the tip to Amari Cooper, and a near-perfect passer rating. He was having, I think, his worst game of the year in his biggest game of the year through 3 quarters. And that all got wiped away with how he finished. Like, that is what we give quarterbacks credit for, is how if they are able to overcome that in the critical spots. And so Dak, who I've been way down on after I was way high on him his rookie year, I have to give him credit. He was great when it mattered most yesterday.
Yeah, if you're going to give Dak some credit, you got to give Jerry Jones some credit and his son Steven for going out and making that phone call before they traded for Amari Cooper. They got some information on Amari Cooper and how would Nick Saban treat Amari Cooper if he was coaching him. And that intel I believe to be valuable. And Coach, I know you believe in this like I believe in it. Man, you got to coach these kids up. And last offseason, we talked about Dez Bryant not growing as a wide receiver. Dallas made a hard decision, went out and signed a good wide receiver coach in Sanjay Lau. Last year, he was with the coach and Coach Pagano. And now you're starting to see the benefits of Sanjay Lau coaching up Amari Cooper. And also Jerry Jones. When they went to him to get intel, is this kid a playmaker? Is he the kind of kid
when he went to Nick Saban?
Yeah, when he went, and also the receiver coach, because they go to the receiver coach also. What do you think about his game? Be able to break down his tape. So that wealth of information and the receiver coach believing in him, that's what the Dallas Cowboys are benefiting right now, because the confidence that a position coach can give a player, and that's what Amari got and is getting in Dallas, and we're seeing the results of that.
Yeah, you'd love Sanjay. I've known him for a long time. He's a really bright guy, works hard. He pushes the wide receivers, and his guys grow. And look, I give Jerry Jones a lot of credit. He's been supportive of Dak throughout this whole process. He's been supportive of the program. He's pressed them to make changes when he thought changes needed to be made. He went out and made a dramatic trade, which a lot of people wouldn't do or wouldn't be comfortable giving up a #1 the next season. So there's a lot of things you like organizationally that they're doing.
Coach, thanks for being here with us.
Thanks.
We appreciate it.
See you tomorrow.
Coming up, did Patrick Mahomes have his MVP moment yesterday? That's next on First Things First.
Coach,